Thank you. All right. It is now 3:59 p.m. I apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. I'm going to call to order the special meeting of the Monterey Peninsula Community College Governing Board of Trustees. If we could have a roll call for the special meeting, please.
Good afternoon. Trustee Rosalind Green.
Here.
Trustee Libby Downey.
Present.
Trustee Debbie Anthony.
Present.
Vice Chair Lauren Steck.
Here.
Chair Yuri Anderson.
Here.
Superintendent President David Martin.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I see the members of the public just were allowed in, so I'll echo the apology that I gave before. We were having some technical difficulties. We apologize for starting late. We have just a couple of items on our special board meeting agenda. First, approval of the agenda, which only includes a public comment and the adoption of a resolution. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion by trustee Anthony, second by trustee Downey. Is there any member of the public that would like to make a comment on the motion? You can use the raise hand feature or *9. Seeing none, we'll have a roll call to approve the agenda. Let's see. I can do it.
Thank you. Trustee Rosalind Green.
Aye.
Trustee Libby Downey.
Present.
Trustee Debbie Anthony.
Present.
Vice Chair Lauren Steck.
Yes.
And Chair Yuri Anderson.
Yes, and can I assume the presence from trustee Downey and Anthony were yes to approval of the agenda?
Oh, you know what? Yes. Take my present and change it to yes.
Thank you.
All right, great.
I just follow Libby, you know?
Well, what's wrong with present?
Because that's not what they asked for. They asked for whether or not you were you want to approve the agenda.
Anyway, all right, so we're now going to move to public comment. This is for public comment for any item that is not on the special agenda today, but within the purview of the governing board. All right, seeing none, we will move to our new business item, which is action to be it resolved that the governing board adopt resolution number 2135, affirming support for Asian and Pacific Islanders. And trustee Downey, could I ask you to read that resolution for us this
Sure.
afternoon?
Okay. Whereas Asian and Pacific Islanders have been subjected to continuous anti-Asian sentiment in the United States for well over a century, as evidenced by acts such as the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 and the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II, as well as untold numbers of racially motivated acts of violence. And whereas racism, xenophobia, and anti-Asian sentiments have been exacerbated by blatantly racial mischaracterizations of the COVID-19 pandemic, using scapegoating language that marginalizes and demeans our API students, staff, faculties, and community. And whereas there are nearly 3,800 reported hate incidents, including harassment, civil rights violations, and acts of violence against Asian and Pacific Islanders from March 19th, 2020 to February 28th, 2021. And whereas these reports depict a disturbing reality, especially for Asian women, who report hate incidents 2.3 times more than their male counterparts. And whereas these reports do not include many of the unreported and increasingly normalized anti-Asian hate incidents. And whereas Asian and Pacific Islanders continue to face fear of verbal harassment, female fetishization, acts of violence, or death while attending school, going to the grocery store, getting a COVID-19 vaccine, or simply taking a walk. And whereas on Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, in one of the worst mass killings in the United States in almost 2 years, a gunman in Georgia targeted 3 Atlanta area businesses, which he killed 8 human beings, including 6 women of Asian descent. Dalu Feng, Young Jung Grant, Suncha Kim, Paul Andrea Mitchell, Soon Chung Park, Shaoji Tan, Delana Ashley Yan, and Yan A. Ua. And whereas President Biden issued an executive order on January 26, 2021, to combat racism, xenophobia, and intolerance against Asian and Pacific Islanders, especially in the light of the inflammatory and xenophobic rhetoric used to reference the pandemic, and urged all leaders to actively commit to enact the order. And whereas the Monterey Peninsula Community College District Governing Board of Trustees recognizes and condemns the long-standing anti-Asia sentiment that exists in our nation and is committed to acting deliberately to create a safe and inclusive environment in which to learn and work. And whereas the Governing Board of Trustees, understanding that education is the most powerful tool for changing the world, commits to engage in efforts such as offering more programs and advancing initiatives that expand the understanding of Asia and Pacific Islanders in the United States. And whereas API communities, including students, faculty, staff, and administrators, are valued members of a thriving, diverse Monterey Peninsula Community College District family. Now, be it resolved that the Governing Board of Trustees of Monterey Peninsula Community College District firmly denounces hate crimes, hateful rhetoric, and hateful acts against Asian and Pacific Islanders, affirms our solidarity with the API communities, and commits to ensuring that API students, faculty, staff, and administrators are safe and welcome, both during this COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. Passed and adopted by the Governing Board of Trustees of Monterey Peninsula Community College District this 24th day of March, 2021, by the following vote.
Thank you, Libby.
My pleasure.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
In a second,
Who did the first? I did the
Libby.
second. Okay, I'll second it.
All right, motion by trustee Downey and second by trustee Steck. Thank you. At this point, I'm going to turn it to the public. If there are any members of the public that would like to make a comment on the resolution today before we turn it to the board, can use the raise hand function or *9 to request to be unmuted. All right, we'll start with, I see first Jeannie Kim McPherson, and then I see Mr. Larry Walker. So we could allow Jeannie to unmute herself.
Hi, can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
So, Thank you. I just briefly wanted to express appreciation to the board for your responsiveness, not only, I think, in how quickly this unified response was, but also the depth and substance of the resolution. It means a great deal. And I really wanted to express my gratitude personally to you all. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeannie. And Mr. Walker, did you want to make a comment?
Sure, yes. Thank you, Chair Anderson. I just wanted to take a moment to echo Jeannie's sentiments about the resolution, and also just acknowledge a couple of our faculty members who rallied behind this effort. Chris Kalima and Grace Anachanga Kalima, this entire week from 12 to 1, they offered safe space sessions for our students and members of our community. This is during spring break, but no matter what the time frame, they normally don't work during this time frame, but this lets you know the commitment that they have made to our API community. So I just wanted to acknowledge them. Special shout out for their efforts and genuine and sincere efforts to make sure that MPC is a place that faculty, staff, administration, and our students, and as well as our community, feel comfortable at. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
I would like to say something.
And I'm just going to see if there's any other members of the public who'd like to make a comment. All right, seeing none, we'll close public comment on this item and we'll turn it to the board. Go ahead, Debbie.
Yes, I'm speaking as an emeritus faculty member of Monterey Peninsula College. And I would like to give tribute and honor to one of our math instructors, Tran, who has been very instrumental in working with our Asian students. Tran, when I was a transfer center director, started the first graduation honoring Asian and Pacific Islanders in the graduation ceremony process. And I just want you to know, Tran, that our hearts are heavy and that we thank you for all that you do for our college and for our students.
Thank you, Trustee Anthony. Is there any other trustee that would like to make a comment before we take a vote on the resolution?
I would just like to thank Jeannie for her letter to the trustees and her concern, and of course, all the people that Larry Walker mentioned. All of that makes us very proud.
Thank you. I'll just comment too, and again, thank Jeannie and apologize that this wasn't on our regular agenda. But I'm glad that we were able to have this special meeting to take this action, and appreciate the board for doing it so swiftly and so unitedly. It's been less than a year before I was in front of this board making a comment about hate and violence against African Americans, and now we hear again having a conversation about hate and violence against our Asian and Pacific Islander community. And I'm really angry that we keep coming back to this conversation. I remember last year talking to you all about how I felt as a person of color after the murder of George Floyd. And one of the things that struck me was the people who reached out to me, my friends who were not Black, to express their concern, and calling upon the fact that I was Black to do that, and having feelings about it. But I did, and in the last few days, I found myself wanting to reach out to my Asian and Pacific Islander friends and ask if you're okay. And so it's been, in that sense, a healing moment for me to understand that that is coming from a place of love and caring, and not in identifying somebody by their race first, but in recognizing that this hurt and these acts of violence against communities hurt us on individual levels. So thank you, Jeannie, for encouraging the board to do this. Thank you, Chris and Grace. for holding those safe spaces for our students and our staff. This is going to be a continued effort, and unfortunately, I don't know that it's going to end, but I hope that we can continue to come together across all communities, all ethnic groups, and social and economic classes to put this to bed. And for me, with MPC, it just reinforces why the work that we've been doing around inclusivity, diversity, equity, and anti-racism is so incredibly important. So that's what I want to say. I feel deeply with you all, and I hope that we can heal together. We've technically closed public comment, but I see that Grace has raised her hand, and I would, if it's okay with the board, I'd like to give her an opportunity to speak.
Absolutely.
We could allow Grace to unmute herself.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I apologize for my tardiness. I was trying to get in here and I came to the tail end of the resolution, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. But I did want to read what I wrote here. So if I may do that, thank you. So good evening. Again, my name is Grace Anangchanya, and I'm the coordinator and the counselor for the TRIO SSS program. I'm here this evening to share a few words as a faculty member of MPC. As a proud Pinay, as a Filipina, and as a Filipino American, as a daughter who was raised by immigrant parents, a Filipino mother and Thai father, as a member of the Asian and Pacific Islander API community, as a wife, and as a mother to 3 beautiful girls. It's because of my given roles and my ethnic and cultural identities with the API community that I'm here today. Although a message was sent out by a president of our college and a vice president of student services to all users, given the timing of when the message was sent out on a Friday before spring break, I can't say that it was reached by all. I'd like to offer that this message is on our website, that our instructors and special support programs also share this message when we return next week with our students. We have a responsibility as a college to our API students and our MPC campus community members to communicate that we're here for them and that we can provide resources and MPC API individuals that they can connect with. On Friday at our IDEA meeting, one of our Pacific Islander staff members shared that students are not going to reach out to anybody. They're going to reach out to people that look like them. As a result, Chris Kaleem and I offered to provide 1-hour sessions every day this week to provide a safe space for our API students to vent, share, or just listen. Thank you to Diego Espinoza for supporting us in this effort by creating the flyer and setting up the Zoom link and being our Zoom wizard for each of our sessions. Thank you, Kristen, for marketing this event, and to our administration for supporting this endeavor as well. We just finished our 3rd day. We had no expectations. We just wanted to provide the space. Although it started out as a space of support for our students, MPC, MPI faculty and staff, and supporters of our API students, it has manifested for all of us that we have been part of these sessions to be a call of action from MPC for our college to make efforts to support our API students and the campus's goals of appreciating and supporting the diverse makeup of our institution. We hope to finish this week with tangible ideas on how we can implement change. In support and in solidarity with our API, Black, Indigenous, people of color, and our LGBTQI+ communities, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Grace. All right. All right, with that, I believe we will move to a formal vote on the resolution. Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Thank you. Trustee Rosalind Green,
Aye.
Trustee Libby Downey,
Yes.
Trustee Debbie Anthony,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lauren Stack,
Yes.
Chair Yuri Anderson.
Yes,
That is unanimous.
thank you very much. All right, so with that, we will adjourn the special meeting of the Governing Board of Trustees at 4:19 p.m. and move directly into our meeting.